CANAS podcast. We talk sports. Canadian sports.
I'm allowing it, but I'm not going to join in ever.
That's fine. You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Welcome to CANAS podcast, episode 52.
Yep, 52.
Yeah, that's huge. I can't even think of a single player with the number 52.
Me neither.
Joe, I'm not even gonna try.
Well, it has to be Canadian too, so it'll be
so
harder.
much more difficult. So much more difficult. Anyways, today's episode, we're gonna realize how stupid my prediction of golf was. The Blue Jays season started off a little rocky, but it's getting better. They have a game tonight. We're recording on a Saturday, so
Yeah.
and then like 99.9% about hockey. So
Yep.
let's just get the others out of the way. The Raptors are in the play-in. They finished 9th, so they were playing against the Bulls at home.
And where did we want them to finish?
We wanted them to finish in 6th, ideally. But
Oh,
we wanted
okay.
either 7th or 8th. So then they only had to win the one game to play in. But even then, they'll play either the Bucks or the Celtics. So that's like...
And we still have a chance to make it to the playoffs anyway.
Yeah,
so.
but they're not making it. They're not making it past the first round. They're going to get swept.
Probably not, but
No. Yeah.
but hey, making the playoffs is still good.
Yeah.
Good for the fan base. So
Yeah. They need to go full rebuild, though.
Yeah.
They definitely need to go full rebuild.
Yeah.
Speaking of full rebuild, Luka Doncic might request a trade out of Dallas. But that's nothing to do with Canada. So
well, he can come to Toronto.
yeah, 100%.
That'd be perfect.
We'll see. I doubt we even have the pieces. But anyways.
We can rebuild around him and not
Yeah.
Barnes, I guess, if it has to come to that.
Next, the Blue Jays off to okay start. Manoah had an awful first game, good second game. Gossman has a 0 ERA still, even though the second game he lost. He gave up 3 runs, but they weren't earned because of an error, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
So yeah, not bad. 4 and 3.
Isn't Barrios starting tonight?
Yeah. So that was an awful first.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be tough if
Yeah.
he plays like he did first.
You know
game.
what though? Kikuchi did okay.
Well, that's good.
I think. If I don't, am I going crazy? Did I remember? I can't remember. I'm going to look up his stats in the moment. At this exact moment, we're going to look.
But
up
like
his
we
stats.
said last week, it's just the beginning of the season, so it's not.
100%.
Bad.
Nothing to be worried
Yeah.
about. So I'm the only Canadian team. I do think that they're a legitimate contender to win the entire thing.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to see. I guess. Whatever. Next, golf. Yeah, I made a terrible decision.
You did. Yeah.
Terrible call. Just awful. With that being said, yeah, no, there's no.
Are there
sugarcoating
any?
It was bad.
Are there any Canadians on the top 10?
No,
So at least like
none.
half of it.
No.
Not even half your prediction would be right.
No, not even a part of it. No.
No.
Corey Connors just had an awful round, but the conditions on Augusta are just terrible. And he was in the second half, in the afternoon, both rounds, I think. So the morning for both days were a lot better than the afternoon. So a disadvantage there, I guess. But
if you're good, might as well play in better conditions, I guess.
yeah.
So you have to earn your way. Yeah.
So, anyways. Oh, yeah, Kikuchi has a 1.8 ERA. That's actually good. He had 5 innings pitched. He gave up a run, I think. So, yeah. No, he did really good. He won his game.
Nice.
With 2 strikeouts only. So, nothing of the world. Canadian Zach Pop is also on the Blue Jays roster. 3.1 innings pitched, 2.7 ERA. Not awful.
Not bad.
Not exceptional, but not awful.
No.
Not bad. Yeah. It's also they're better than all of us combined anyway, so.
Oh yeah, but like we said again, it's the start of season, so
yeah,
we still have time.
Now, hockey. Let's just get it out of the way here, okay? So
4 minutes in, we're going straight to hockey.
Yeah, 100%. I genuinely think we're heading into the playoffs right now.
So it's probably just gonna be hockey.
Yeah, it's
well, hockey and basketball. If the
Raptors do anything, if the Raptors make it out of the first round, 100%. We're talking about Raptors.
Yeah, definitely.
All the time. All the time. Or if Mackenzie Hughes, who had like a 7 under round 2 to make the cut.
Yeah.
Let alone compete. No, just to make the cut, he had played 7 under in round 2. Unreal.
That's good. Yeah.
But
anyway, hockey.
Yeah, hockey. So you have the given. Toronto is playing Tampa in the first round of the playoffs.
Second round. What?
If they make it out. Listen, Toronto's overall a better team, but Toronto's going in a little not very hot. They're getting a little cold. Whereas Tampa Bay is playing some of the best hockey they've played all year. that does not make for
Nope.
good luck for.
Doesn't matter how you start, it's more how you finish.
Yeah.
And if you're hot when you're finishing the season, you're probably going to continue playing hot in the playoffs.
So Tampa's unreal right now. That's going to be a very tough first round matchup for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Leafs fans are going to be livid that they're not playing a different team, and that it has to be Tampa Bay.
Well, then play better.
Seriously.
Or play worse and then play the other teams except for
Hilarious.
the teams in your division.
So then, yeah, there's that. But then...
You know what was also playing unreal? The Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, but I wanted to wait.
No, we're going straight to Edmonton.
Fine. You know what? You want to do that? Okay, so 2 guaranteed Canadian teams are in the playoffs. 2 others are fighting for a wild card spot in the West. Okay, so
one that we thought wasn't going to make it to the playoffs at the beginning of the season, and one that we thought was going to lead the
finish
division.
first in the Pacific.
Yeah.
So Winnipeg and Calgary are both fighting for that last spot in the last wild card spot. Everybody else is clinched. Everybody else.
Yeah.
This is just the one wild card, and it's between.
Is it just the one wild card?
It's just one wild card.
Wow.
Left. So the wild card 2 is the only one that they're fighting for, and
Dang.
that's between Calgary, Nashville, and Winnipeg. Now, Nashville is in charge of their own destiny. If they win out, they're in. That's because they play against Winnipeg and Calgary.
Okay.
Nashville literally is in charge of their own destiny. If they win out, they're in the playoffs. Okay?
They have 3 games remaining? Roughly?
3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 or 4. Whatever it is. So, but also Winnipeg's in charge of their own destiny. Because if Winnipeg wins out, they also make it, because that means they beat Nashville.
Yep.
Okay? So, Calgary needs both Winnipeg and Nashville. So Calgary needs to win out, and then have Nashville and Winnipeg each lose at least 1 game.
Dang.
But the Calgary has to win out.
Yeah.
And they're playing away in Vancouver right now. Or tonight, I guess. So
yeah.
It should be a game that they should win, but they're not playing very well. Plus, Jacob Markstrom's just been god-awful this season.
Ugh.
Which, for me, is the single biggest reason that they're not there.
I think
that
so,
goaltending
yeah.
last year saved a bunch of games. That said, they were overall playing significantly more confident. They were playing better, and that was a good hockey team. Let's not sugarcoat this. That was an exceptionally good hockey team. And they just are not doing well at all. But anyways, I digress. So they're fighting for the last wildcard spot. But, as you were mentioning, there is no team hotter than the Edmonton Oilers right now. And you know what? You can call us homers. You can call us whatever the hell you want. But this is the facts. Since the Ekholm trade, Edmonton is 13-2-1.
Just from one player.
Just one player.
Just
Since
because of
Christmas
acquiring one player.
Day, this is the biggest stat, okay? Since the Christmas break, the Edmonton Oilers, when they have their goaltender have a save percentage above 900, the Edmonton Oilers have lost a total of 2 games, both in shootout or overtime, and they've won 30.
Holy.
They are 30-0-2.
30-0-2.
When they get a goaltending performance above 900. Now, that's not just insane, but they're coming off back-to-back shutouts and 3 games back-to-back-to-back with 1 goal against each of those games. In the last 5 games, they've given up 3 goals.
That's crazy.
On top of all of that, for the first time since 1995-96, there's 3 players on a team with over 100 points. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl,
and our boy Nuge.
The Nuge. Zach Hyman is already at 83 points. He's finishing above a point per game for sure. So that's 4 players on our team that is going to be at a point per game or better. Connor McDavid is getting close to 2 points a game. He's just ridiculous. There are 3 points today. He's at 151, which if he gets 5 points in the last 2 games, so if he finishes with 156, that is the most points ever by a player not named Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux.
Dang.
You want to hear something cool too?
Yes, okay. I do.
I looked up the all-time NHL leaders in points per game. There are 4 active players in the top 20. Can you tell me who you think they are? It's 2 Canadians and 2 Oilers. They don't have to be both the same. Like, they don't have to be Canadian Oilers, but it's 2 Oilers and 2 Canadians are in the top 20 of all time. Active.
Of what?
Active NHL players of points per game.
Points per game.
In their careers.
Well, McDavid.
McDavid is 4th on that list. Behind, seriously, behind Wayne Gretzky, obviously.
Oh, you mean, okay.
Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and, I forget the third person. But the third person's only .04 points per game better, which after today's game, I think mathematically puts McDavid third.
Third? Yeah. 2 Canadians and 2 Oilers.
2 Oilers are 2 Canadians, 2 Oilers. So
active right now.
Yeah.
So
active.
McDavid, Draisaitl.
Obviously, Draisaitl has to be.
Yeah.
He is 16th on that list last I checked.
Dang. Okay.
He's the 16th best points per game percentage of all time. It's like 1.124, something like that.
And 2 Canadians.
So one other Canadian, because McDavid's Canadian. So one other Canadian.
Okay. Oh yeah, this makes sense. Crosby?
Obviously, he's Crosby.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Oh, that's not
one
bad.
more player. And if you think McDavid, Draisaitl, Crosby, who? You're gonna get your answer.
Ovi?
It's Evgeny Malkin.
Oh.
Evgeny Malkin is 18th
teammates.
overall. Isn't that just absurd? So 4 players currently are in the top 20 of career points per game. It's McDavid at 4, Crosby at 8, Draisaitl at 16, Malkin at 18.
That's crazy. That's insane.
So the Crosby McDavid comparisons are pretty good, but the Malkin Draisaitl comparisons are pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
Honestly. So as long as they all keep up, as long as McDavid and Draisaitl keep up the consistency that Crosby and Malkin have had,
they'll be.
They're gonna be there.
Yeah.
So with all this said, this is for me the single greatest Edmonton Oilers team I've ever witnessed in my life.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the homegrown rookie goalie too.
Yeah.
Skinner just taking over the top number 1 goalie and just still going strong.
And they have 3 pending RFAs, and I think they have the cap space next year where they are able to pay him what they deserve.
I'd say pay him.
And they're set for this. Isn't the only window I think the Oilers are going to have. If things are managed properly, which up to this point, Ken Holland has done an exceptional job. An exceptional job at managing this team. If things are managed properly, this group should have at least 2 more years after this where they should be cup favorites. Or up in the cup favorite category.
Yeah.
This is without a question the best team I've ever seen the Oilers have. Our weakness is goaltending, I would say. But if we get our goalies to put 900 save percentage or better.
I was gonna say goaltending more. Just Campbell just has to play it like he's playing right now, kind of thing.
Yep, 100%. To be fair, his opposition was just Anaheim. Okay, he played Anaheim twice.
Yeah, but at least make him the backup because Stuart Skinner deserves being number 1.
Yeah.
And just let him just get his games in until he gets better, till he gets more comfortable, and then we can have another goalie battle of who's the number 1 for our team, kind of thing.
Agreed. There's no competition in the Hart, Ted Lindsay, Rocket, none.
If there is, then the Riders are just out to lunch. Come on.
This is a historic season. There is real competition for the Calder.
Yep.
Matty Beniers has been the front runner for the longest time. And I think for a while, Logan Thompson actually just full on deserved it. But Logan Thompson's been injured for a while, hasn't played in a long time. So that doesn't help his cause.
That's going to hurt him, for any nominations.
Mason McTavish has not been exceptional.
No. He's been
Owen
good, but
Power's been okay, but he hasn't been a star. I would even argue, again, this is probably a little biased, but I would even argue Matty Beniers hasn't even been that great. Stuart Skinner has put himself in the conversation.
Yep.
I think what hasn't helped him was the fact that he hasn't played 50 to 60 games. I think he'll finish the year with 50, 55-ish.
But it was more because
January he didn't play pretty much anything.
But it was more because everyone even like management was thinking Campbell was going to be number one, so they were playing him more. And then after they saw how Stuart Skinner has been playing when he was playing, and then he plays in March, gets what, like a 10-0-1 or 10-1 no 10-0-1, right, record in March.
Oh
Something
yeah,
like that?
10-1-2.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Like then we're just only playing Stuart Skinner more, and it shows that he definitely deserves at least some nominations for the Calder.
So
Or like we might be biased, but like I believe like he should win the Calder. But but like because there's like no like outstanding like rookies that like Beniers is like the best one, but like if you go back to like previous years, like Kaprizov did like really really good, but he like deserved it because he was like
yeah,
getting like all those points. But like I think Beniers has like 50 something points or 40 points.
like I don't even think he's cracked 50.
Yeah, so like I would honestly think because of how Stuart Skinner has been playing throughout the year, just consistently like 900 or better, I would think Stuart Skinner should get the Calder Trophy this year.
Yeah,
which would be like the only Oiler I think that would get that got the Calder.
There's no Oilers that have ever won the Calder. I'm thinking to myself, I think I need to make a correction. We're 30-0-2, but in all of our wins, I can't guarantee that our goalies have had us above 900 save percentage. Well, let's just say since Christmas we've won 30 games, and then we've only lost 2 in overtime when our goalies have had more than 900 save percentage. So I'm going to correct myself there.
Okay.
What else was I going to say? You know what? I do think Matty Beniers wins it. I think
Stuart Skinner... It's tough for a goalie to win it because...
I think Stuart Skinner wins it if he shuts out Colorado.
Oh, like when they're coming
in their next game.
Yeah.
I genuinely do think that.
I just hope he does.
Because Matty Beniers isn't the best player in Seattle. He's like 3rd or 4th. But Stuart Skinner's the best goaltender in Edmonton. But then again, it's all his positions and everything. But Matty Beniers isn't the best center in Seattle. Stuart Skinner is the best goaltender in Edmonton. So we'll see. That'll be an interesting debate. I do think Beniers is a heck of a player, and I think he's had a pretty decent season this year. I don't think he's the best. I don't know. It's been a subpar year for rookies, though. To be fair.
Yeah. Which is why like Stuart Skinner has a really good chance of winning the trophy.
I would agree. I absolutely would agree. What was I going to say next? Okay, so we talked about that. We talked about the Oilers' best team we've ever seen.
Yeah.
For sure. Everything's like they're clicking at the right time right now, which is nice to see. But Matty Beniers' stats, 23 goals, 33 assists, or 56 points.
Yeah, so I'd say because of that, Stuart Skinner has a really good chance.
Yeah, and let's look at Stu's stats actually overall here, because if we're looking at wins and everything, we're obviously going to be looking up. We're obviously going to look up Stuart Skinner. He's got a 284 goals against and 911 save percentage. So like they're not exceptional numbers either. He's only played 47 games. This probably doesn't count today, so it's probably 48 with a 280 and a 913 maybe, or 912. So like not great numbers either, though. To be fair,
not like exceptional numbers.
No,
but that's still really good numbers, though.
Still really good numbers,
yeah.
And I think being on the best team might be that. So you know what? I haven't even thought of it. Oh no, it's obviously gonna be, so Boston. Whoever the Boston coach is going to win the Jack Adams for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then they're also going to win GM of the year. No, there's no question.
No, there's no.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Boston, like GM and coach definitely has a good chance of winning their trophies, but maybe GM, honestly, because of how Edmonton has been playing defensively before the Ekholm trade, and then since they got Ekholm, I don't know if that one trade will change everything.
I think Jay Woodcroft and Ken Holland are finalists in both of them. I think Coach of the Year,
Coach of the Year is definitely Boston.
Vegas coach. So it's going to be Boston, Vegas, Oilers for finalists for Coach of the Year. I think it's going to be Boston,
Edmonton.
Honestly, it might be Devils.
Or Devils.
It's a good team this year.
I would say Devils. Their GM would win the.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
No, I totally forgot about the Devils.
There's a lot of good teams out there.
Totally forgot about the Devils.
So, but with 2 games left for most teams in the NHL, you have. I mean, the top of the NHL is stacked. You got Boston with 127 points with 4 games left. Carolina 109, New Jersey 108, Vegas 107, Edmonton 105. That's your top 5 in the NHL right now. But then you have the Rangers at 104, Toronto at 103, Dallas at 102, Colorado 100.
Weren't we like around like the 20s, like before Christmas?
Yeah, we were about I think the lowest we got was 19th.
Yeah, and now we're 5th.
A 13-2-1 record is going to do that for you since the trade deadline. Or since like right before the trade deadline.
Yeah. Let's do this. Besides McDavid and Draisaitl, because that's just easy picks, who do you think is the MVP for Edmonton?
Nuge.
100%
it's Nuge. Career year, and it's like he's thrown it out the freaking window, his stats. Like, he surpassed his career points totals in like late February.
That is true, yeah.
Like, he could have not played a single game after the trade deadline, and he would have still beaten his career totals. It's either Nuge or Skinner for me.
I was going to say
for
Skinner.
Somebody who's going to be in here the whole year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But even, like, yeah,
I could also...
if we had Campbell's goaltending all season, we wouldn't be the team we're at right now.
No.
But I think an honorable mention goes to Ekholm.
I was going to say Ekholm, too.
I think just the addition of Ekholm has made our defense, like, not laughable.
Yep.
And it's improved Bouchard instrumentally.
Oh, definitely.
It's improved Nurse monumentally. I'm trying to think of big words.
Build up your vocabulary.
It's improved Cece substantially. Kulak has benefited greatly.
That wasn't as big, but okay.
Greatly. No, the entire team's benefited from Ekholm.
Yeah.
My only concern, I'll be honest with
you. I think the goalies have been playing like a lot looser too with Ekholm.
My biggest concern, though, to be completely honest, is the fact that not a single Oiler has a Stanley Cup. Did a single Oiler win a cup? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think anyone on our roster has won a cup before. We have one cup finalist, and that's, I guess, 2 if you count Demers. No, I didn't think Demers was in San Jose the year that they did it. It was Ekholm for Nashville. Yeah. He was a cup finalist. And then I don't think a single other Oiler has won a cup. Has Janmark ever won a cup?
No.
I don't think so. Bukestad certainly hasn't.
No.
Kane hasn't. Nuge, obviously no. Obviously McDavid, Draisaitl. Ryan hasn't won a cup. Like.
No, yeah. Well, like, sure, like, you want that, like, experience going into the playoffs. But just, if you're just playing your game, then you should be fine. You don't have to really worry about Stanley Cup experience.
I think the experience is huge.
Like, it'll help, but
fair.
But with the...
Oh, no, Bukestad won with Pittsburgh in 2018-19. No, that wasn't the year Pittsburgh won. No, I'm losing my mind.
You're going crazy.
Very much so, yes. Very much so. Yeah, I think that's going to be a little deterrent. But even then, like, these guys are playing possessed. And if they play the same level that they're in right now, they should be fine. But I envision them stepping up somehow. I don't even know how they can get better than what they already are. But then let's shift a little bit to Winnipeg/Calgary. Like, which of the two do you think, if they make it, has the best chance at knocking off Vegas? Because it's going to be Vegas that finishes first in the West.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless Edmonton wins out and Vegas loses their next game. And then at that point, it's Edmonton first in the West. But realistically, it's probably going to be Vegas because Vegas isn't going to lose. I don't think Vegas wins the next 2 games, I think.
But either way, like either Vegas or Edmonton,
Who do you think has the best chance at an upset?
Winnipeg. Because Connor Hellebuck can steal you games.
Jacob Markstrom can too.
But if he plays Edmonton, then but
I think Calgary's more built for the playoffs.
they're more built for the playoffs, but Connor Hellebuck is like the better goalie though.
I almost hope that Nashville wins out and makes it, so that we see Edmonton Nashville in the first round, and then Edmonton's history against Nashville is not Draisaitl's history against Nashville.
Draisaitl's
is nothing to laugh about, and he might I think Nashville beat us in OT last time we played them, so I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park by any means. No. Obviously, that said, I mean, I can see a 4-game sweep if Edmonton plays Nashville, if we play the way that we should, and Draisaitl might break the all-time record for most points in a series in a 4-game series. He's averages over his last 2 games, I think it's 4 points a game.
In the playoffs or
against Nashville.
Oh, against Nashville. Yeah.
Just recent memory, thinking about it in my head. I'm not looking up any stats. I'm probably making all this up. But it feels like he averages 3 to 4 points a game. Last game he didn't have a point. I'm not counting that game. But the other games, yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah. You know what? Another stat that I saw today that was pretty ridiculous is that the Oilers are, I think it's 24-4-4 whenever Hyman scores.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's nuts. That's insane. That's just
crazy.
Well,
but it's the playoffs and anything can happen. So
yeah, that's what makes me so nervous. I know this team is good. There's no question. This team is exceptionally good. But it's playoffs. Anything can happen in the playoffs. And if they take their foot off the gas even a little bit, we're in trouble. Because every team in the playoffs deserves to be there. Yep. Even if it's one.
Well, looking into the last game, like this game against San Jose, with those kinds of teams, they usually go down to their level, and then it's always close, or we beat them by a lot. But that was in the last period, or we might sometimes even lose to them. Today they won 6-1 against San Jose. They just played like they were playing the last couple games, and they didn't let up, and they just scored 6 goals. They because it was,
and they played smart defensively as well.
Yeah. So they just have to, like you said, don't let up, foot on the pedal, and just keep playing like they're playing these past 10 games, and.
Okay, but to the same point, though, we barely beat Anaheim away the other day. It wasn't the second of a back-to-back, and yeah, so it was 3-1. But we needed Clean Costin to come up clutch for us. It was 2-1 until Nuge got an assist on his 100th point on that goal in the empty net. I see your point, though. I find we play better. We play better with a better opposition.
But but I meant now we're just playing like we're supposed to play, especially with the lower teams.
I'm interested to see how the Colorado game will be. I think that's a really big
test. That's going to be a good test,
That said, they're going to be without Landeskog, Mikko Rantanen, which if I'm mistaken is injured, and Cale Makar is also injured. So I think it's not going to be a very big tell on how they're doing, but from my understanding, Makar is out until at least round 2.
Really?
That's from what I've read. Yeah, I think he's out until at least round 2.
Holy.
Yeah, they're making it out of the first round though for sure. It's who would they play? Minnesota or Dallas?
Yeah.
Unless they win out and they finish first in the Central, because they have all the games in hand in the world. So yeah, they win out. They finish first in the Central. They could even finish first in the entire Western Conference. They would be a point behind Vegas, actually, if Vegas and Colorado both win out. But I'm interested to see what goes on. Edmonton, the best we can do is finish with 109 points. And that's if we beat Colorado. And so Edmonton, if Edmonton wins out, they need Vegas to lose one game in regulation or lose two in overtime. Because we have the tiebreaker on almost every single team.
Yeah.
And honestly, we have that tiebreaker because we've been god awful at overtime and shootout this year. Just horrific.
Which is so weird because we always put McDavid and Draisaitl in.
Yeah. You know what's actually an interesting point? So the Edmonton Oilers have the best goal differential in the entire NHL and the most goals in the entire NHL in the second period. It's goals for sure. Maybe not goal differential, but goals for sure.
Okay.
But that's the long change, right? So we can logically say that the Oilers do better than their opposition does, or they succeed most, or they have more offensive opportunities than their opponents when there's a long change, yes?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The first overtime period is going to be in that long change. So do you think that second period statistic can be moved to overtime in the playoffs as well? Do you think the Oilers have an advantage in the overtime period by having that long change?
Oh, because we're going to be at home?
Well, no, we wouldn't. Like, it doesn't. The home and away doesn't matter. It's the Oilers in the second period have the most goals in the entire NHL because of that long change, right? Because you're defending on the opposite end of where your bench is. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's going to be the same in the first overtime period or any odd number at overtime periods. Do you think
in the playoffs because it.
Yeah,
oh,
right.
I
So
thought I don't know. I was thinking 3-on-3 in playoffs.
No.
I was like, what the heck? No.
Do you think that like correlates or like that would?
It could.
I think that's a little bit of an advantage, but I mean,
maybe a little bit of a stretch, but
yeah, I think we are. I think I am stretching a little bit,
just a little bit.
Listen, this is the most excited I've ever been about our hockey team ever. Like it's not even been close.
Yeah.
So it's oh man, the boys look good. The boys look good. 13-2-1. Jeez, that's nuts. That's just ridiculous. And then you have, knock on wood, though, everybody needs to stay healthy. Because anything happens to McDavid or Draisaitl, we're done.
That's not wood, Victor.
Just knocking on my head. So, but this is one of the most physical teams in the entire NHL. One of the biggest teams in the entire NHL. One of the most skilled teams in the entire NHL.
Crazy. Just nuts.
And defensively, we've been exceptional. Mind you, it's been against LA twice, which is a good team, a good offensive team. But then it's been against Anaheim twice and San Jose once.
Yeah.
I think the biggest test is going to be Colorado. A depleted Colorado Avalanche team, I may add. But away in Colorado will be a big tell as to how we're going to do. But, yeah. Anyways.
I think we're good.
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass out with how excited I am about the Oilers. My gosh. I'm also nervous, though.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous. I won't be watching any of the games out of the club or a bar or anything.
You're just going to be watching it at home?
I'll be watching it at home. The Oilers are 12-0-1 with me watching at home.
12-1?
Yeah. When I watch from home.
Okay,
since Christmas. Since the New Year.
Just stay home then.
Yeah, because like I've watched parts of the game outside, or I've gone to a couple bars and watched the games there before, and like, no. 12-0-1 since I've been watching at my home by myself, I may add.
Okay, so I won't come over.
I don't think many people will be allowed to come over.
No.
We'll see. Oh, man, we'll see. Anyways. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the CANAS episode number 52.
52.
That's huge. Huge. And we'll see you next week, where we will have our playoff matchups. And we'll give you a preview as to who we think comes out of the first round. And we're going to name the best Canadian in the first round. Not name Connor McDavid. We're gonna predict who's gonna have the best first round amongst all Canadian skaters.
Except McDavid.
Yeah. Because I don't think that would be fair.
No.
No. Or McKinnon, maybe. Except McDavid and McKinnon.
No, we can leave McKinnon.
Oh, fine. It'll be McKinnon then. But anyways, we'll Yeah, stay tuned for next episode, I guess, next week.
Yep. We're going to make predictions. And we were supposed to do our Conn Smythe this week because you said last week that we would do it this week. But we'll just do it with everything with the preview.
Yeah, we know all of it. Like, I mean, the Conn Smythe, for me, I think the Oilers are winning the Cup this year, so it's going to be McDavid for me.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Stuart Skinner. He's going to carry us just like Rolly did, but without getting injured.
Okay. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Knock on your head. Knock on your head. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next week.
See ya.